Hello people, I hope you are fine. This video deals with cities and city life and the dangers that cities may have got, crime, pollution, sometimes transport problems, but also, well, positive things in the case of cities that are having a better quality of life. Yes, so all these expressions, all these topics that are necessary to have conversations, small talk if you want, or breaking the ice with somebody when you socialize. The catering department on board ships around the world need these skills. Yes, so it's good to have conversation with people on board cruise ships, for instance, people from different latitudes and different cultures. So we might think that these people live the same way, or they have the same manners, the same ways as we do, and this is incorrect. The body language may be different also, and the mannerism also changes from one city to another one. Arab countries, Latin America, Europe, the distance that we have with people changes. Latin people tend to have a closer distance to speak, and then probably some Europeans are more distant, and we may not understand these things. This is called culture shock. Yes, so choque cultural. So these things happen. So we must be very careful. We must be aware when dealing with people from different nationalities, catering department especially, on board cruise ships, socializing. So be careful. Not everything that you say might be well taken. We must avoid misunderstandings. There are no international gestures. You may think that this is okay everywhere, or this one, but you cannot do that in some countries. It's not today's lesson though, but just to be aware, for you to be aware of these things. So let's speak about some cities. Let's read some contents and exercise our ears. I'm going to read a few extracts from a book I have dealing with cities and city life. So we have 5 questions. The first one of them: what did Trondheim and Singapore do in order to reduce traffic congestion? So this is a pre-question. Before reading, we are going to just to have this in mind. Number 2, how does use of public transport in Zurich compare with other cities? In the Zurich mini extract. Number 3, which countries have the highest percentage of cyclists in cities? Number 4, why did Curitiba choose a bus system, not an underground or light rail system? Number 5, what new scheme has been introduced in Edinburgh? Okay, so I'm going to read the first extract now. In 1991, Trondheim in Norway became the first city in the world to reduce traffic congestion by charging motorists to drive in the city center. Other cities in Scandinavia did the same and used the money to improve public transport. Singapore also charges motorists, and its efficient public transport system makes private cars unnecessary for most city journeys. Now we have the Curitiba article. Curitiba in Brazil has a population of 2.5 million. It has more cars per person than any other Brazilian country except Brasilia. Any other Brazilian city except Brasilia. But it has few traffic jams. It is not a rich city, so it chose a bus system rather than an underground or light rail system because it was a lot cheaper. Its fast, efficient bus system transports 75% of city commuters. They can change easily from one route to another using a single ticket for all journeys. Now we go to the third article. We go to Switzerland. In Zurich, 40% of journeys are by public transport, compared with 10 to 15% in most European cities and only 3% in the USA. A lot of people in Zurich own a car, but private car traffic is half the level of other European cities of similar size. This was achieved by introducing a high-quality fast light rail system integrated with buses and trains. 7,000 employees who work at the Edinburgh Business Park in Scotland's capital city have been invited to join a car-sharing scheme. It is the first time a computer has been used to match employees' journeys to work and is part of a plan to reduce traffic congestion in a city where 8 out of 10 cars carry just one person. The scheme was introduced after 40% of the staff said they would join it. Before we had, I think, another article, in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands and Denmark, more people use bicycles in cities than in other countries in Europe. There are cycle paths everywhere in city centers, and a lot of roads have special cycle lanes. In Copenhagen, 25% of city journeys are made by bike. In the Dutch cities of Groningen and Utrecht, the figure is 50%. Okay, now we are going to see the answers to the previous questions, the pre-reading questions, let's say. If you haven't thought about them yet, well, just pause the video and we see each other in a couple of minutes. I don't know if you paused the video. Anyway, I'm going to give you the answers, and this is the first one. What about Trondheim and Singapore? What did they do? They had a lot of congestion. Answer: they started to charge drivers very easily. Charge means cobrarle. Ahora vamos a las diferencias de vocabulario. If I charge the mobile, what I do, or charge the battery, ahí es cargar. Cargo la batería. I charge the battery. If I am a doctor and I charge you for my services, my medical services, ahí estoy cobrando. No cargando, pero cobrando. So, the government decided to charge the drivers, cobrarles a las personas, a los conductores, ¿sí? Ok, a fin de mes yo cobro el sueldo. That verb is not to charge. In English you say collect. So you ask your partner, have you collected? Oh yes, I have the money in the bank. Ok, collect es cobrar, en ese caso. Ok, the second question is about something around Zurich. Yes, public transport in Zurich. Well, the public transport works fine in Zurich. It works at 40% of the population, and in comparison with other cities, people use it far more than other cities. Public transport, I mean. And what you can see in a picture, the photograph, is a tram. They have these old trams and new ones. Well, in Europe they mix old and new trams in many places. So sometimes the photos do not reflect. It's like in Argentina, the buses. Yes, you can have old buses and the new ones. It's the same thing here. Or the underground system, the A or the E, is the same in Europe, or in many countries, I guess, and cities. Number 4. Okay, number 4. Why did Curitiba choose a bus system? Well, because they are a poor city, and they didn't want to introduce an underground or light rail system because of this reason. Number 5, what new scheme has been introduced in Edinburgh? The system of a person collecting other co-workers, let's say, to take them to go to work, because they had so many cars in the street, and they did that. It's what you do when there is a strike. Sometimes some people have cars, they are going, there is a bus strike or an underground strike, so some people with cars are picking up workmates or colleagues, and they go to work anyway if they need to. Okay, now there is another article coming, and it's about Brussels. Brussels is Bruselas. It's the capital of Belgium. Yeah, the language is Flemish, I think, and French. Well, now we are in another article. It's about Brussels. Yes, the capital of Belgium. So, city description, file, topic groups and collocations. This is one of the titles here, and we have a series of questions like before. Why is Brussels called the capital of the EU? What are its most important industries? What is Grand Place? What can you find in Butcher Street? What cultural attractions does Brussels offer?